Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. Now, it has to be said that on our travels through the great British countryside, we do come across a few strange things, but this has to be one of the most bizarre that I've ever come across. It's a yew tree, and it was used to mete out punishment. But what kind of punishment and where? Well, join me in just a few minutes, and I'll show you.
In today's show, I'll be helping a sporty couple who are looking for a cosy Welsh property.
Well, cosy's what time.
Cosy?
Yeah.
Well, cosy, I mean, this is what we were talking about.
Proper cosy, I think this is.
And I throw them something of a curveball with our mystery house.
Well, Jules, I think you may have excited yourself.
It's nice, isn't it?
First impressions.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, today we're in Powys in Wales, and this is the now famous whipping yew tree in Llaneliw. The idea was simple. Back in the day, criminals or ne'er-do-wells would have their hands placed into these slots inside the trunk. An iron bar was then passed through, and of course they couldn't then get away. They'd then be flogged or indeed left here overnight. Now, fortunately, the criminal justice system in these parts has moved on somewhat. And as for the rest of Powys, well, there is plenty on offer, which is just as arresting. Now, when it comes to house prices in Powys, the stats do make for some fairly interesting reading. The average detached will set you back about £205,000. Now, you may think that's pretty reasonable, but bear this in mind, it is still £30,000 higher than the national average for the rest of Wales. So why is Powys so expensive, relatively speaking? Well, basically, there simply aren't enough houses to go around here. If you want to move, you'll get a lot of peace and quiet for your money, and some gorgeous, frankly, epic landscapes to spoil yourself with.
So let's take a look at what's on the market. This modern three-bedroom detached property in the village of Even Job is priced at just under £300,000. It has a light, open-plan layout and a newly added conservatory with views over the surrounding countryside. Or you could buy this 7-bedroom 17th century farmhouse in Taliesin. It has a feature stone fireplace, traditional kitchen, outbuildings and a swimming pool. It could be yours for £495,000. And if you have a bigger budget, £650,000 would buy you this 5-bedroom former rectory in Machynlleth, which offers spacious reception rooms with original sash windows and 2 acres of beautifully maintained grounds.
Well, with properties like that on offer, it's no surprise that today's buyers want to move to this part of the world. So let's meet them and find out just exactly what they're after.
Policeman Craig and his wife Sophie, who works in marketing, are planning to make the move from Surrey to Wales, where Sophie was born. They're hoping to rediscover the outdoorsy lifestyle she had there as a child and share it with their 2 daughters and their spaniel, Oscar. While Craig will be commuting back to work in Windsor for each of his 4-day shifts, Sophie is looking to make changes to her business life in order to spend more quality time with her family.
I think when we move to the country, the type of lifestyle we want is obviously more relaxed lifestyle. I would like eventually to cut down my working hours, and just have, just to get more involved in a rural way of life, I guess. I mean, I was brought up in a farm, so in Wales, so I know what it's like to live there and what it's like as a child. So I think it would, afford our daughters a good way of life.
We'd be looking for a place with a small piece of land, maybe, which would enable us to maybe have not so much a small holding, but maybe a miniature pony or a couple of sheep, which is all going to be a totally new venture to us, really.
Craig and Sophie are ready to fully embrace rural life, and they've got plenty of ideas about what would appeal.
When we move to the country, definitely looking forward to being outdoors more. We've got a dog, so obviously the dog needs walking, so to have longer, more varied walks. And also as a family as well, to do more things together. Horse riding, for example. We both did horse riding as children, and we'd like to do that as a family.
And also we both cycle quite a bit as well, and the girls now, being the ages of 7 and 4, they've now discovered the joys of cycling. So that's something that we would really like to do as well.
Of course, there's an array of Welsh hills to ride and cycle, but it's family ties that have been the real pull for their preferred location.
We're looking to be within an hour of Sophie's parents in Builth, Wales, and that area allows an easy commute back to the southeast.
And Sophie has clear thoughts on what she wants from her new home.
We do like period or character properties, you know, fireplaces, love wooden floors. From the new property, we would like a minimum of 3 bedrooms, 3 reception rooms. We definitely need to have a study, and we need a lot more outside space.
Yes, a minimum of an acre, really.
All that matters now is to firm up the finances.
Our maximum budget for the perfect house is £425,000.
Craig and Sophie have asked us to focus on properties within a radius of 1 hour's drive from Bilth Wells, which gives us access to areas ranging from Newtown in the north, Knighton in the east and Brecon in the south. We've found some great properties to show them, and as ever we'll be asking them to guess the price of each before I reveal it. Last but by no means least is our mystery house, which might prove to be a whole new ballgame for this fun-loving couple.
Well, guys, here we are. Back in your neck of the woods,
Yes,
Sophie.
Yes. Yeah, I was born in Bilth Wells, which is only a short distance from here.
So nice to be back.
It is, yeah. I always look forward to coming back.
Now, in terms of the property that you're after, give me a kind of a picture of what it would look like.
Well, our eldest daughter, first and foremost, says that it has to be cosy.
Cosy.
So that has to be a criteria. So I mean, that could pretty much suit anything, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But outdoor space is definitely one of the prerequisites, really.
And just remind us of the budget.
The max that we're looking at to spend really is £425,000.
Well, this money is burning a hole, isn't it? Because you've just sold.
Yeah, we've sold, so quite frankly, we need somewhere to live.
Yeah.
We
well,
need you to
and
find us
quickly.
a house. Yeah.
well, and quickly, because the year is moving on. We're what, halfway through now? It's what, May?
Yes.
School
Schools.
year.
Yes, one's due to start school, the other's due to change. So really we have a window of opportunity and we need them to be in school by September.
Yeah, better get cracking.
We better get cracking, haven't we? No pressure. Okay.
With a maximum budget of £425,000, Craig and Sophie want a character property with at least 3 bedrooms and 3 reception rooms. Also on the wish list is a study so Sophie can work from home and a spacious kitchen diner. Outside, they'd like at least an acre of garden so they can fulfil their dream of having a pony for the girls and maybe a sheep or 2. We're starting our property search 24 miles northeast of Bilth Wells on the edge of the village of Llanguntlo. Nestled in the upper Loud Valley, this location offers perfect opportunities for riding and walking. The village derives its name from the Celtic saint Cunllo, and the church erected in his name was substantially rebuilt in the 19th century. Our first property is an old vicarage dating back to the early 18th century, with plenty of original features that are on their wish list.
This is what I want you to have a look at as our first offering of the week. What do you reckon?
It's nice, very pretty.
Yeah, very nice.
The old vicarage. I'm reliably informed that we know there was a vicar here in 1722.
Okay.
But as you can see, it's been added to
Yes.
relatively recently.
Very nice. Yeah.
Is this the sort of date and period that you were
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
contemplating?
much.
definitely,
Yes.
yeah.
OK. Well, your daughter said cosy.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, should we have a look?
Well, the pressure's on. Will the vicarage be snug enough to pass the cosy test?
In you come. What do you reckon?
It's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Cozy?
Yeah.
Well, cosy. I mean, this is what we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, warm as well. It's lovely. Yeah, it really is
lovely.
cosy.
The current owners describe this as their reading room. So it's a kind of spare reception,
Yeah.
if you like. But this is the new extension, of course. The old bit is really cosy. Come and have a look at this. Now watch your head.
Oh,
As you're coming in, deduck. So there we are.
Oh, it's lovely.
yeah, it's nice.
And this is the original part of the house.
This is, yeah, and that's why we all
Oh,
duck.
it's-
Down, and it's very.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, very modern fitted kitchen, as you can see.
It's quite quirky, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not massive, but the way it's been done is quite clever, really.
But the old bit of the house, I think, really is retained
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the architecture, and you get a real sense of it. This is the first bit that really kind of reveals it. But through here, this looks quite exciting. Have a look at this. But first of all, this is the larder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
They are terrific.
Lots of
Yeah,
space.
it's massive.
And then this is the, well, currently set up as the dining room.
Very nice.
Nice.
Lots of lovely features in here, the beams and so forth. I mean,
lovely.
you know, 1700 or so when this was put up. I mean, it really does go back.
Oh, that would.
It is, yeah, a little wood
burner.
burner. And again, quite cosy in the winter because you've got the fire going
Yeah.
and everybody around the table.
In fact, it's got more of a sense of a living room, in a sense, you know, I mean, a lounge, actually, rather than a dining room, in many ways, isn't it?
Well, let's see what you think of the living room, because that's through here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It goes on. So this is it. And, you know, quite a thing, really.
Oh, this is lovely, Jules. This is what our daughters meant by cosy, proper cosy, I think this is.
Well, this is the picture, isn't it, that most people would imagine, I suppose, if they were coming to a cottage in mid-Wales, a nice big ingle nook with a wood burner in it,
Yeah,
stone.
it's lovely.
Yeah.
Massive, it's huge.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, do you notice the floor level here?
Yes.
It's quite odd, isn't it? The whole thing sort of sat up on this bench, this stone bench. The story goes that way back when, one of the vicars married a lady who was a little bit, you know, of a higher station than he was. So in order to make the room feel bigger, he lowered the floor.
No. Oh, what a great story.
Which probably accounts for some of the odd levels that are going on around the rest
that
of
would
it.
make sense.
But I quite like the story anyway. So, OK, right, come on, follow me.
Before we head upstairs, we pass the shower room and utility room, somewhere for Spaniel Oscar to get his wash and brush up, perhaps.
Now, the great thing about up here is that we haven't got you just 3 bedrooms, we've got you 5.
No way.
Five? My
5
goodness.
doubles,
No, it's incredible.
God, you'd
5
never
doubles.
think you would...
2 of which are en suite.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
And this is one of them.
OK.
You can see, just poking through the door
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The ensuite, nice little bath arrangement there. Loads of storage and so forth. And views out to your,
That's lovely.
well, bit of your garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the church beyond there.
And the church beyond it. There you go, the Vicar's View.
Yes.
It's amazing.
The other ensuite bedroom offers lots of natural light, and the girls won't be short of space in the 3 remaining good-sized double rooms. There's also the opportunity for Sophie to use one of them as a ready-made office. Those bedrooms without an ensuite are served by this airy family bathroom. This property really does offer an incredible amount of space, and that continues outside with 1.5 acres of land, made up of a formal garden and a paddock, perfect for that pony for the girls. The outbuilding, currently set up as a workshop, could prove to be a great stable for a pony, and there would still be room for Oscar's kennel. That should keep everyone happy. But will Craig and Sophie be as happy with the price?
We've got quite a lot on offer here. So, where are we at on the budget?
Oh, gosh. I think about 405.
405,
I was thinking more in the region of about 415.
415. You're sort of close to it. It's 405, but not in that order. It's 450.
Oh, is it?
It's £450,000. But,
OK.
now, this is an important but and a real but. I do know that 425 would get it.
OK.
I think it's an interesting one because it gives you
Yes.
the extra 2 bedrooms, very manageable plot of land, in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, of course, the plot of land, I didn't sort of think about... Yeah, you have got a lot of outside
It's a lot
space,
of-
haven't you?
Yeah. But go and explore it. There's plenty more for you to nose around in.
Okay.
And I'll catch up with you probably at the bottom somewhere.
OK.
Off you go.
Thanks, Jules.
In the meantime, I think I shall sit here and enjoy the view.
Above their budget, but potentially achievable, our first property certainly meets their requirements. It has 5 generous-sized bedrooms, enough office space for Sophie to work from home, loads of room downstairs. The girls will love the cosy fireplace, an old barn which could be used as a stable, and sufficient land to graze a pony.
This is great, isn't it? A lot of storage space in here, which is nice.
Yes, used as garage, workshop,
Plenty of space.
really, and
There's
like
more.
this area
There's a wood store or something through there.
could be a little stable.
From the outside, didn't seem too much at all, really. Come inside, I mean, a TARDIS, really, in many ways.
The only potential downside is the kitchen area. We were really looking for a kitchen, breakfast, sort of family room, but I think, you know, we would be able to overcome that.
Lovely. Well, I think that went pretty well. Hey, I think that went well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
good start.
very nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
1 down, 2 more to go.
OK.
Come on then. I'm starving.
Great.
Flowing through the county of Powys is the second longest river in Wales, the River Wye, which covers 135 miles from its source in the Welsh mountains. It's renowned as the canoeing capital of Europe, and due to its relatively slow-flowing water, is especially good for beginners. So what better place to give Craig and Sophie a taste of the outdoors lifestyle they're seeking?
Welcome to Black Mountain Activities.
Hi, nice to meet you.
My name's Mike. I'm going to be taking you for the canoeing today. All we need to do is go through these doors here and we'll get you kitted out and get you sorted for the canoeing. All right, follow me.
Canoe Wales, the Welsh body for governing paddle sports, has 1,800 individual members and more than 2,000 affiliated club members. They advise that the best way to take to the water for the first time is under supervision. They also suggest that canoeists should always wear a good buoyancy aid.
All right, guys, so we come to the canoes. Are there any questions before we get started?
I mean, they look very unstable. I mean, what's the chance of us capsizing?
It's a slim chance today. With the canoes, they've got quite a flat bottom, so they tend to not go upside down as much as the kayaks that are normally a bit more rounded.
Okay. Have you got any tips for paddling technique at all?
Best thing to do is use your whole body, all right? Grabbing the paddle, you're reaching your whole body forward, placing it in the water, drag it back to your butt, take it out again. You're trying to get as a vertical paddle as possible and really twisting or rotating our trunk, all right? Because we're using all our muscles in our body, not just our arms.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, excellent.
The River Wye is one of the least spoilt rivers in the United Kingdom. In the 17th century, an Act of Parliament confirmed it as a free and open navigation up to Hay, and it became an important waterway in the early industrial era. However, with the development of canals and railways, the commercial traffic disappeared. Over the last century, fishermen became its main users, along, of course, with canoeists. Mike Smith is taking Craig and Sophie on a 5-mile trip down the Wye from Glaisbury to Hay, where they'll have to negotiate a small rapid. They seem to have taken to it like ducks to water. Clubs are the heart and soul of Welsh canoeing. They're a great opportunity to meet other enthusiasts, find equipment to use, improve your paddling, and get out on the water. But enough of messing about on the river. It's time to get dried off and get back to our property search in Powys. One of the many tributaries of the River Wye which run through Powys is the River Eithon, which flows through the village of Llanbadarn Fynydd. Our second property is a mile and a half outside the village, which boasts a popular pub and restaurant, and a shop that's owned and run by the community. The house itself is set in a spectacular location and was originally a 200-year-old stone drover's cottage with an adjoining barn. Now it's been converted into one.
What do you reckon?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
Completely different to what I expected.
This is completely different
Yes.
to our first property.
Oh, yeah.
But this is gorgeous. And, you know, in terms of remoteness, the only issue, of course, is winter
Yeah.
and snow and just buy a big freezer. No, if you're going to get snowed in, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, it's a nice house.
Yeah?
Nice house.
Come on, have a look.
Great stuff.
Right. Check this out.
Oh, this is nice.
Beautiful, isn't it? You've done a lovely job in here. And again, you know, I mean, well, cosy space.
Well, look, you've got
The wood burner again. Yeah.
lovely burner there running away. It's open plan, but it's very much divided into its
Yes.
own sort of zones,
Yeah.
if you like. So
Yes.
clearly dining
Okay,
end
yeah.
over here. And then, of course, here we've got this lovely kind of sitting area, living area.
Open plan can sometimes feel a bit too cold sometimes, can't it? You know, but no, this works well.
Now, above us is this mezzanine, and if you step over here to the wood burner, it becomes a bit more obvious what's going on
Yeah.
here. There are 3 bedrooms on offer. One of them, the master, is up there,
Oh, right.
and the other
Okay.
2 are above the farmhouse.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
So I think the kind of arrangement here is interesting, which is why we're going to do this house to us slightly differently. Having done living space, we're going to jump ahead of ourselves and go and have a look at this master bedroom, because I really think you should check this out, and then we'll carry on with the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay,
Right,
super.
up here. So off of this little landing, you've got your own ensuite in there, and then if you duck and come in here, this is the master.
Oh, great, what a room. Lovely views out there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very light, isn't it?
Isn't it? I mean, the neutral furnishing and the paint and so forth, it's just very simple, it's very uncluttered.
No, it is lovely.
So we've done this slightly unusually because we've gone, you know, downstairs and then up to the master bedroom.
Yeah.
We've yet, of course, to see the kitchen.
Yes.
Yes?
Okay.
After a long wait, I'm hoping Sophie will be pleased when she sees the kitchen that's on offer.
There we go, Sophie.
Oh, that's better, isn't
I
it?
think this is the sort of thing.
Yes, that's
Yeah?
better.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic kitchen.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a huge kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah? This is the sort of thing.
Yes, this kitchen, dining, living space is good.
Well, because it all flows quite nicely, we've almost finished our house tour itself. But let's go up that staircase and, well, you tell me if you think the girls would be happy up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Just tucked away behind the kitchen, there's a small office space, something which should appeal to Sophie. But now let's have a look at the layout upstairs.
So that's the shower room there. There's bedroom 2, should we say, and then this is the final one. It's the biggest of the two in this half.
Yeah. It's a lovely room, this. Oh, and you've got the
Built-in
inbuilt
wardrobes.
storage.
It's
Yeah.
a real bonus.
I mean, they may want to share that storage.
Yes.
You know, next door doesn't have, you know,
Yes.
Okay.
any built in.
Okay.
But again, just, you know, you get this nice feeling of the beams and the stonework and so forth all kind of coming through.
So
And
much character.
the floorboards, you know. But again, just beautifully furnished. I think one of the real successes of this house is the way it's been presented and
Yeah.
and furnished. I think
Yeah.
it really
Yes,
very nice.
very simple.
defines the kind of style of life that one would have here.
Yes.
The lifestyle our buyers are after is all about the outdoors. So let's take a look at the surrounding grounds to see if this property fits the bill as a small holding for potential livestock or ponies. Amongst the 10 acres of land on offer, there's a stream and a small lake, both of which are havens for wildlife. They could also keep chickens, should they fancy having their very own taste of the good life.
And then behind us, something of a market garden.
Wow, look at that.
Gosh, it is, isn't it?
Terraced and very well developed vegetable
is.
beds with the polytunnel and so forth.
So you almost become completely self-sufficient.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's also got its own water.
Oh, has it really?
Oh, is it?
Yep. And it has its own bio tank, which gets rid of all the septic stuff.
Right.
Okay, so you are completely eco here.
Gosh.
Obviously, price is important. Let's have a think then.
420,000?
420. Yep, Craig?
Now, I lost out in the last one, but I'm feeling more confident on this one, George, so I'm going to go for 399,950.
399,950. Where did you get that figure from?
Well, I'm just playing around, really. Just a stab in the dark, really, but...
Ever the optimist.
Yeah.
He's the one that said it wouldn't rain.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're almost right.
Yeah.
OK, well, not bad, sir. This is on the market for 399,500.
Oh,
I'll give you that one.
£450.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, that's
so, yeah,
good.
500
God, that's good.
quid short of
That's
400,000.
fantastic.
That's a lot for your money, isn't it?
I would say so.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Plus, you've also got what some would describe as either a very large pond or a very small lake.
Really?
And it's down there.
OK.
Go and explore.
okay.
Right, we'll have a look.
Okay, we'll go fishing.
Yeah, don't get your feet wet.
Right, okay.
At just under £400,000, this property not only leaves them with money left over, but easily delivers on their demands. 3 good-sized bedrooms, a family-sized kitchen diner, spacious and cosy reception rooms, and 10 acres of eco-friendly land.
I don't think you get many fish in here, then.
No.
Would you? Or was it too
No, you
reedy?
could put stuff in here.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's really nice.
It's much more remote than the last one. In terms of the actual plot, I think you get an awful lot for your money. I mean, I'm amazed that, you've got 10 acres, plus all the house, plus the little lake.
I mean, it'd be a completely new thing to Sophie and I. The whole thing that if you want to do that whole self-sufficiency thing, it's here on your doorstep. I mean, it's all there for you, all set up, all ready to go.
A nice end to our first day of house hunting.
Yep.
It's getting a bit nippy.
Yeah.
Time for a drink. Come on.
Oh, definitely.
As the sun sets over the Welsh hills, it's the end of the first day of our property search. Police officer Craig and wife Sophie are looking to move from Surrey to the green grass of Sophie's childhood home in the Welsh county of Powys. The 2 cosy character properties they've seen so far have gone down well. But coming up, can they have their cake and eat it in our mystery house?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
good news. That's a worthy
It's made
contender.
my day, that don't
Excellent. Brilliant.
And I watch a water vole make its new home on Llangorse Lake.
Well, as we've learned so far, Craig and Sophie are most definitely looking for a whole new change of lifestyle. But of course, the whole thing does have to be paid for somehow. And while Sophie can work from home at the moment, for old Craig, well, he's got to commute from Wales to London during the week. So for our final property, the Mystery House, we're going to offer them a different solution. A property that means they could both work together from home and create the new lifestyle that they're looking for. Of course, we're on our way to our final property, which I think, again, is very different to what we've shown you before. But there are 1 or 2 other aspects I'd like to explore, in particular, this notion of holiday lets. It's not an uncommon wish for people on escape.
Yeah, no, there's something we have thought about. I mean, eventually I'd like to perhaps reduce the hours that I'm doing at the moment, my current job. And if we found a property that had a holiday let that was either ready to go or maybe a barn that we could convert, then it's something that we definitely look at doing.
Well, the Mystery House is some way ahead of us, but I think it might offer you a few ideas to kind of, well, get you living and working in the same place.
Oh, that's great. Look forward to that. Fantastic.
For our mystery house, we're heading just outside the village of Carno. The surrounding area is predominantly Welsh-speaking and reliant on livestock farming. Our final property is a detached 3-bedroom traditional farmhouse set in half an acre of mature gardens.
Here it is, our mystery property for you.
Well, Jules, I think you may have excelled yourself on this.
It's nice, isn't it?
First impressions.
It's lovely.
Yeah, very,
It's
very good.
Really, really pretty, this. It's a good couple of 100 years old or
Yeah.
so. There's the main body of it there. It's had something of an extension added on, but an historic one. It's probably about 150 years old in itself.
Right.
So that's what's on offer. But why is it the Mystery House? Well, we've thought about this holiday let thing. I've teased you a bit about it in
Yes.
the car, haven't I? Well, we've got you 2 really well-appointed holiday lets next door.
Oh, great.
Brilliant, so they're ready.
Ready to go.
Okay.
They're ready to go.
Okay.
So we've just got to see if we can fit you and the girls
In there.
in there.
Excellent. Let's go for
Yeah,
it.
come and have a look.
Okay.
Great.
Now, what do you think of this?
It's lovely.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah?
It's cosy.
Well, I knew somebody was going to say
Say
cosy.
cosy, yeah.
It's the word of the week. I mean, yeah, very, very cosy. Clearly dominated by that lovely great big Inglenook.
That's a really nice feature,
Lovely
isn't it,
wood
this
burning
room?
stove there too again.
No, it's a lovely room.
So, nice first impression.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, come and have a look at
Okay.
this. This is the dining room, just off of the main living room.
Yeah, it's a lovely one.
Isn't
Good
it?
size,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Very
Huge.
nice. It's got a lovely feel to this room. And the sun streaming through it. It's lovely.
Next door is a traditional kitchen with some lovely period features.
Now then.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's nice.
It's sweet. It is what it is. It's a kind of galley kitchen. It has got some nice features in it. That oil-fired range is
Yeah.
lovely. And then that stable door there at the back goes out to a utility area, another door out to the garden. But your thoughts, Sophie?
No, I quite like it, actually. Yeah, it's not as big as the one we saw yesterday, clearly.
But you can improve on it greatly. I mean, these units will make a big difference, wouldn't they? Just, touch
Just need
them
a bit of
up change
updating,
them.
I think. But you've got room for a table as well, which is nice, just, for breakfast.
Absolutely. And the nice thing about this one is that it contains the
Yes.
makings of tea and cake.
Oh,
It's lovely.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch for anybody looking around the house. So hopefully we'll get back to the cake a bit later.
okay.
We'll come back.
But let's go upstairs here first.
Okay.
On the first floor is a family bathroom and 2 bedrooms which could provide loads of room for the girls as they get older. But there's one room we haven't seen yet, and that's where Craig and Sophie might be.
Now, of the 3 bedrooms up here, this is by far the biggest one.
Yes.
And I think this would
Yeah.
be obviously yours.
The master one, yeah.
Yeah.
And built-in wardrobes and stuff as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all
Both
over the place.
sides, yeah.
Actually, yeah, you got them all over. And, of course, views out over the garden.
Yeah, this is
It's a pretty room, isn't it?
Good sized room.
Good.
Fine.
Yep.
OK. Right, I can see we're all itching to get and have a look at
Yes,
those
let's go.
holiday lets. Right, come on, let's go.
Cake.
And cake, yeah, right.
The idea of the holiday let seems to have really captured their imagination, I hope they're as keen once they've seen the barn conversion.
So here we are, your sort of business complex in this wonderful converted barn. Through that door there, we've got you some storage space, then there's a
Yes.
stair up to some office space.
Right.
It's not completely
Brilliant.
finished at the moment, but there's bags of it. So I think, yeah, you working from home and running the lets
Yeah.
from there
That'd
would
be
be
perfect.
absolutely ideal. And then we've got these 2 lets on 2 floors. So one at the bottom and one at the top. So let's go through the bottom one.
Yep.
So far, so good. Having the office space has gone down well. But will the interior live up to their expectations?
Now these are enormous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what a surprise.
You've got 2 very good double bedrooms there.
Yeah.
Twin
Yeah.
in this one. All right. And then in here, if you will,
See, yeah.
Oh,
That's
this
a
is pretty.
oh, what a lovely room.
and then the kitchen just sort of, you know,
Tucked around.
tucked around the corner there. And of course, this floor plan is replicated upstairs.
Oh, gosh. A lot of thought's gone into this.
Now, the interesting thing is they're not really pushing these. They've only got them with one agent in Newtown.
Okay.
Okay, and the prices, I think, are pretty modest. I mean, anything from 150 to 300 a week, depending on the season. But, you know, in a good year, there's no reason why you really shouldn't be doing 30 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with a bit of extra marketing, I think you could up the prices a bit and
That's right.
generate, you know, quite a healthy income.
And I guess if you did a bit more cosmetically, got that, went for that sort of 5-star rating, perhaps.
Yeah.
Then
You
charge
could
that,
definitely charge more.
Charge that a bit more.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So how do you feel about running these lets now? You've seen them.
I quite like to do it, actually. Yeah.
Have you really whetted your appetite?
It has, yeah.
It's great news that Sophie can see herself running this new venture. Let's head outside and see if we can seal the deal with the price.
So, that's what's on offer.
Right.
Our 2 lovely holiday lets, our lovely 3-bedroomed period cottage, and all in all, half an acre of garden and grounds.
Yes.
I know what's going to be. Next question.
Next question is going to be,
Okay.
how much is it
much?
worth? Yeah, our final thought about this.
I think it's going to be quite a lot over our budget, this one.
How much?
475?
475, so 50,000 over.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a wild guess, but hopefully one that's going to be spot on, at 420,000.
£420,000. Now, that, of course, is very much at the top end of your budget.
It is.
Yes.
If it were 420, given that you could offset the cost with the lets,
Yeah.
Yes.
would you think about doing it?
Yes, definite option,
Yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Well, that's very, very good news, because this is actually on the market for £390,000.
It's not. You're joking.
Ah, no.
Really?
Oh, wow.
390.
Oh, my goodness.
It was over 4, it's been reduced, it's now
It's a
390.
shock.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
good news. That's a worthy
It's made
contender.
my day, that does.
Excellent. Well, look, off you go. Go and check out the other let.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Jules.
Off you go.
So this traditional 3-bedroom cottage with barn conversion could be just what Craig and Sophie are looking for. Way below the price they thought they'd have to pay at £390,000, this is a real contender. It has a kitchen diner, perfect for tea and cake, a good-sized study, 2 spacious holiday lets, and half an acre of land for the girls and Oscar the dog to play in.
You know, I think it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think, you know, as you said, it would be a project for you. And I think, you know, with your experience and commitment and everything else, I think it's something that you really enjoy. I think.
It's great. I think the real surprise to me today is the price, because I really, really thought this was going to be way over our budget. So, you know, it's all made my day in that respect. I didn't think that we'd be able to get a holiday let ready to go and a house to live in for that amount of money, to be honest.
When we first saw this house, I just hoped that this was going to be the house, really, out of the 3. I mean, it's superb. So what do you think?
No, I like it. It's a lovely house.
Really pretty.
Ah, there you
Oh,
are.
hi, Jules.
Look what I found.
Very nice. Have some left.
This is fabulous. I'll tell you what. If you can bake egg as good as this, I will definitely come back to see you.
Oh, of course.
Fabulous. Now then, have you seen enough?
Yes.
Taking it all in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fantastic.
Right then, come on, let's go and find a cup of tea to go with this.
Yeah,
Right.
lovely.
Okay.
In the south of Powys is the Brecon Beacons National Park, containing over 500 square miles of jaw-dropping scenery with historic sites such as Neolithic standing stones and Norman castles. No wonder around 3.8 million people visit here each year. Sadly, in spring, it was devastated by what's been described as some of the worst grass fires in 30 years. Hundreds of creatures such as grouse and voles were killed, and vegetation vital to their habitat was lost as 2,000 acres were burned. Judith Harvey, the Western area manager, took me for a walk to show me the damage.
I can smell the burning that's been going on. I mean, just looking at my feet here, from a distance it looks like it's relatively green, but actually as soon as you look down you can see it's all black and brown, and this is absolutely devastating to the ecosystem, isn't it?
It is, yeah. As National Park Wardens, we do burn common every year if we can, if we get dry weather.
But it's controlled then?
Controlled, and during the winter months. This has been after a very early spring, and then obviously we've had these fires, so birds' nests and everything have just been completely burnt. Also the peat has burnt, the soil's burnt, and it'll take a long time for some of these areas to come back.
And in terms of the kind of ongoing research that you do within the park, I mean, how much of a setback is an event like this?
It is a setback. I mean, we'll try and turn it into an opportunity and just monitor how the vegetation and stuff does come back.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're really upset, we really are.
While hundreds of mammals have been tragically lost on one side of the beacons, over to the east on Llangors Lake, one of the UK's most endangered species, the water vole, is being reintroduced. Once common in the UK, their numbers declined in the 1990s, and by 2005, 90% of them had disappeared, mainly due to land drainage and the introduction of the North American mink to our shores. Their preferred habitat is near open water, as they can dive and swim with great ease. They make their homes in burrows dug in the banks of waterways, such as slow-flowing rivers, ditches, dikes and lakes, feeding on grasses and waterside vegetation. 400 water voles have set up home on Llangors Lake over the past year, and there are plans to release a further 100 in the coming months. Warden Gareth Ellis filled me in on this valuable conservation work.
Now, Gareth, we know that voles have been in trouble for some time, but just how bad is it?
The vole population in the UK has been decimated. We think it's down to probably 2, 3 or 5% of the population it used to be, perhaps 100 or 150 years ago. It's important to provide the right habitat for them. It's important to make sure that the habitat is then managed in the right way so that the vole's habitat is secured. But we're hoping if we can protect the populations in these areas, somewhere like here at the lake, eventually the population numbers will expand, they'll expand their territories, they'll start moving out into the wider countryside.
And do you think they're robust enough as a species to be able to do that?
I think, you know, given a chance, given the right habitat management, given the right controls of mink numbers, which a lot of people have been very supportive of, then yeah, they've got a fighting chance.
Selwyn Eagle is the warden giving these water voles their first taste of freedom after being bred in captivity. I went to watch him moving one new tenant onto the lake.
These are very lively little animals, and if you try and get him out of a case here, he's just liable to sort of leap out. They can still leap out over my shoulder, but once they're in the tub, and if we put some straw in the bottom, they'll tend to hide in the bottom of the straw.
I don't think I've ever seen one in the flesh.
Look at that. There you are, little fella.
Hey, hello, mate. Extraordinary. Now, where have these come from?
They've been bred specifically for the Environment Agency by a guy called Derek Gow, who's the country's leading expert. And he makes sure that through the captive breeding that they mix up all the genetics to make sure that you know, they're going to be strong individuals when they're released.
Brilliant. Well, let's release him, shall we? In he goes. Look at that. So he'll now go off and look to find a little burrow and create his burrow.
That's it. He's found himself somewhere nice and tucked away immediately there. It's a good spot. He'll feel nice and safe there. We'll take in his new surroundings and start finding himself somewhere to set up home.
This reintroduction project has far-reaching and long-term benefits for the biodiversity of the lake area. And provided the water voles continue to thrive, the Environment Agency will be looking to release more of them at other suitable sites across Wales. And just like the water voles, we're hoping that Craig and Sophie have found their ideal habitat here, because it's time for them to reflect on the 3 properties they've seen.
Well, guys, here we are at the end of our week. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, it's been great. Really good experience, Jules.
Yeah, very good.
So let's go back to our first property. We started with the old vicarage with, what, 1.5 acres of paddock and some wonderful period features in it.
Yeah, that was a nice property, actually, and I liked it. You know, it's just the edge of village location, which we asked for, had the outside space, and, you know, had lots of character, like you say.
And, of course, it came with 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, incredible.
And obviously the 2 en-suites as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of those extra rooms could have been used for a study,
yeah.
or playroom for the girls.
Yeah.
To be honest, I guess probably a little bit too big for our needs, really, in many ways.
Well, then we took you to, I thought, a very interesting conversion with 10 acres attached to it. What did you make of that one?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was a lovely setting, and obviously, you know, the ground around it was incredible. In terms of the house, a little bit different. It had the kitchen, diner, living area, which was fantastic.
All open plan.
Yeah,
you know,
very, very
the whole
open
thing really
plan.
did sort of flow together, and of course it gave you, well, 3 bedrooms, but the master suite being very separate.
But I know it was a touch too
And of
remote.
OK, well, then we took you to our final property, the Mystery House.
Great.
Yeah.
Its big selling point was the fact that it had those fantastic holiday lets with
Yes.
it. But let's just talk about the house itself. Could that work?
Yeah, I think it could. I mean, it's not like my ideal property, but the fact that you've got, you know, the holiday lets with it, and, you know, it's a lovely garden.
I mean, we could, you know, those holiday lets, I mean, we could really put our stamp on those, and I think that, you know, we'd get a really good income off those.
Well, let's think about, are you going to buy it?
We'd definitely like to have a look at it again, but I think what we need to do is obviously check out schools.
Yeah.
If the schooling checked out, then
Second
I
viewing,
think we'd
I think.
definitely go back and have a second viewing on that one.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch this space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, of course, every house search is different, but the longer I work on Escape to the Country, the more I'm beginning to understand that there is a growing divide between people who simply want to live in the country and those who want a country life. And somewhere in the middle are people who want a country lifestyle. That, of course, is exactly what we've been trying to achieve for Craig and for Sophie. And with any luck, in the Mystery House, they found the opportunity to do just that, complete with a growing menagerie of dogs, ponies, sheep and, well, goodness knows what else.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply.
Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. Now, it has to be said that on our travels through the great British countryside, we do come across a few strange things, but this has to be one of the most bizarre that I've ever come across. It's a yew tree, and it was used to mete out punishment. But what kind of punishment and where? Well, join me in just a few minutes, and I'll show you.
In today's show, I'll be helping a sporty couple who are looking for a cosy Welsh property.
Well, cosy spots on.
Cosy?
Yeah.
Well, cosy. I mean, this is what we were talking about.
Proper cosy, I think this is.
And I throw them something of a curveball with our mystery house.
Well, Jules, I think you may have excited yourself with it.
It's nice, isn't it?
First impressions.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, today we're in Powys in Wales, and this is the now famous whipping yew tree in Llaneliw. The idea was simple. Back in the day, criminals or ne'er-do-wells would have their hands placed into these slots inside the trunk. An iron bar was then passed through, and of course they couldn't then get away. They'd then be flogged or indeed left here overnight. Now, fortunately, the criminal justice system in these parts has moved on somewhat. And as for the rest of Powys, well, there is plenty on offer, which is just as arresting. Now, when it comes to house prices in Powys, the stats do make for some fairly interesting reading. Your average detached will set you back about £205,000. Now, you may think that's pretty reasonable, but bear this in mind, it is still £30,000 higher than the national average for the rest of Wales. So why is Powys so expensive, relatively speaking? Well, basically, there simply aren't enough houses to go around here. If you want to move, you'll get a lot of peace and quiet for your money, and some gorgeous, frankly, epic landscapes to spoil yourself with.
So let's take a look at what's on the market. This modern 3-bedroom detached property in the village of Even Job is priced at just under £300,000. It has a light, open-plan layout and a newly added conservatory with views over the surrounding countryside. Or you could buy this 7-bedroom 17th century farmhouse in Taliesin. It has a feature stone fireplace, traditional kitchen, outbuildings and a swimming pool. It could be yours for £495,000. And if you have a bigger budget, £650,000 would buy you this 5-bedroom former rectory in McCuncliffe, which offers spacious reception rooms with original sash windows and 2 acres of beautifully maintained grounds.
Well, with properties like that on offer, it's no surprise that today's buyers want to move to this part of the world. So let's meet them and find out just exactly what they're after.
Policeman Craig and his wife Sophie, who works in marketing, are planning to make the move from Surrey to Wales, where Sophie was born. They're hoping to rediscover the outdoorsy lifestyle she had there as a child and share it with their 2 daughters and their spaniel, Oscar. While Craig will be commuting back to work in Windsor for each of his 4-day shifts, Sophie is looking to make changes to her business life in order to spend more quality time with her family.
I think when we move to the country, the type of lifestyle we want is obviously more relaxed lifestyle. I would like eventually to cut down my working hours, and just have, just to get more involved in a rural way of life, I guess. I mean, I was brought up on a farm, so in Wales, so I know what it's like to live there and what it's like as a child. So I think it would, afford our daughters a good way of life.
We'd be looking for a place with a small piece of land maybe, which would enable us to maybe have not so much a small holding, but maybe a miniature pony or a couple of sheep, which is all going to be a totally new venture to us, really.
Craig and Sophie are ready to fully embrace rural life, and they've got plenty of ideas about what would appeal.
When we move to the country, definitely looking forward to being outdoors more. We've got a dog, so obviously the dog needs walking, so to have longer, more varied walks. And also as a family,